Hi everybody, Chris Titley here and welcome to Scoreboard. This episode is powered by Swyftx, Australia's top-rated crypto exchange and proudly homegrown, just like many of the athletes and business leaders we feature on Scoreboard. These Scoreboard Live mini episodes were recorded on the 29th of October 2025 at the MCG in Melbourne as part of the Sports Tech Conference powered by STWS. Hi, it's Chris Titley. We're here with Scoreboard Live, the first ever Scoreboard Live, to be honest. We're here with Reuben Williams from Sportsgrad. Reuben, g'day.
G'day, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on the first ever Scoreboard
Live.
Scoreboard Live, yeah.
Yeah, mate, we're here almost lunchtime of the session, the first session. How have you found it so far?
I've loved it. I've been to this event maybe 4 or 5 times in the past, and it's always good catching up with people in the industry. So, yeah, having another good time.
And also, I've heard some stories around some people here that have used your service, your platform, that have said some glaring things about you. You want to talk about that for a sec?
Yeah. So I run a business called Sportsgrad that helps people get jobs in sport, and we got a few people helping out with the conference today. So Tom Burbeck has come down from Rockhampton to help manage all the content of the day. He's been a part of our last cohort that we've run. Josh Dembo is also floating around helping out with some stuff. Justin Raymer as well. So, yeah, providing a bit of manpower to the conference.
And the interest in sport from your point of view, where does that come from? And I suppose how you built your business or building your business?
Totally, yeah. Well, it all started for me when I was an 11-year-old boy in the stadium in Sydney when the Socceroos qualified for the World Cup. For the first time in 32 years, back in 05. Aloisi, yep.
The shirt off.
Exactly, yeah. So I was there that night, and that was the first time I experienced a full stadium erupt, and I thought, this is incredible. How can I be a part of that more often? And so that kind of was the catalyst for wanting to pursue a career in sport, which ended up starting Cricket Australia, but then my role was made redundant during COVID, and in ironic fashion, I thought, I've lost my job. How can I help other people get a job? And 5 years later, Sportsgrad's still going.
Yeah, mate. And the feeds that you get around the jobs, why work in sport, firstly, and secondly, how the partners that you've worked with along the way to kind of change people's lives.
Yeah, well, I think Michelle Enright, former CEO of the T20 World Cup, said it best when once you work in sport, you never go back. And she had a banking and finance background before that. But it's just a different energy and feeling. Like, you're more motivated to get up and out of bed. You're more fulfilled when you're doing the job, and feel good about when you go home as well. So it's just a more enjoyable, 9 to 5.
We've hosted a few athletes on the Scoreboard podcast, and they give their high performing tips.
Yep.
Coming down to business owners, I'm curious around some tips that you do, maybe some daily practices or some other things that you think about to keep your business progressing forward.
Totally, yeah. I mean, to be an entrepreneur, you do have to kind of function a bit like an athlete as well to make sure everything's functioning well. So back in 2021, I created a system for myself to try and operate at a level that I wanted to operate, and that involved setting out a certain set of goals and certain set of habits that laddered up to those goals, and I try and tick them off every single day, and every single month I'll do a review at the end of the month to be like, how did I go against that? And I think probably the best thing I've done for myself is keep doing that review. So I'm up to about 54 consecutive months of doing this check-in with myself, which basically just helps me understand what did I do well, what could I do better next month, and calibrate. And learning anything is a feedback loop, and so to be able to get a feedback loop every single month to be able to adjust has been the quickest way to kind of keep learning and developing. Yeah,
that's great, mate. And I'm keen to hear your thoughts on feedback, and when you get feedback, how you accept it in regards to maybe it's not so good, maybe it's good, etc., and the different sort of levels of resilience that come along with that.
Totally. I mean, I'm pretty thick-skinned, so I don't take anything personally. So all of it is a gift to me. For example, today I caught up with Dino Domenico and the founder of DMC Sport, who came to our London meetup in the middle of the year. Straight after the event, he comes up to me and goes, "Reuben, amazing event, but the panel went way too long. Like, people need to go to the bathroom, want some food, whatever." I'm like,
they get hangry.
Yeah, exactly right. That's awesome. So last night we had our Melbourne meetup, and I made sure that we maxed out 40 minutes, no longer. And so I saw Dino today, and I was like, "Dino, got some feedback for you. We reduced the panel from London in, probably went for an hour then down to 40 minutes. And he was like, great to hear.
That's awesome. And the importance of That's awesome. The importance of connection and in-person events. You want to talk about that, particularly what we've gone through the last 5 years, the unprecedented global meltdown, I suppose, in terms of COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes such a difference. I mean, working mostly as a solo operator with a team that's kind of scattered around the place. I love what I do, but most of it's come kind of from home, and half the time you're just kind of sitting in your bedroom, tapping away. So any chance to get out and about is always a lot more motivating and reminds you why you do it as well, and to be able to chat to people and hear the impact of what you're doing too fills you with more motivation when you go back home to do your work. So always leave these events with my cup very full.
Yeah, mate. And Sportsgrad, we will sit here and we'll do a podcast in a year's time. Where would you like the business to be?
Oh, mate, the vision is to create a global community right around the world. So if we've done our job well of helping people get jobs in sport in Australia, the UK, India and the US, and it should look like Sportsgrad alumni work in all these different circles. And would love the business to be in a place where a lot of our people are working in top organisations in those countries, but importantly as well, they feel connected as well. Because we don't just want to set people up to get one job, we want to set them up to get hired again and again and again and again. And the way you do that is by having a network around you. And so if we can kind of keep these people connected on the journey, then we can set them up for a long career to come.
And the advocacy piece as well in regards to that.
Yeah, so this is kind of my dilemma at the moment, because I love what I do with Sportsgrad, but for those who don't know, I'm in the advocacy world. I have my own story with assault. It's on I think it's attached to my LinkedIn if you want to read about it. But that is kind of my dilemma at the moment in terms of how to balance both worlds. And I'm not very good at splitting my time and attention. And so trying to figure out, is this something I blend into one thing or do separately? Because to be completely honest with you, I'll get a message from someone saying, "Hey, Reuben, you help me get a job in sport." I'm like, that's amazing. But then I'll also get a message from someone who has read my story and says, "Reuben, you helped me tell my partner about something that happened to me 8 years ago for the first time," or see a psychologist, or even go as far as reporting it to the police. And I'm like, that is incredible. And sport's wonderful, but we're not safe for babies. And so part of me is in this toss-up of what's the impact I want to have in the world. And to be honest, I think it probably looks like a combination of both.
Yeah, I reckon I mean, it is you, right? You know, and the way that you come across in terms of your behaviours and your personas and your values shines through in your business, and I suppose your advocacy as well.
Yeah, thank you.
And Reuben, one final thing about the event itself. You said you've been here many times. Being here at the MCG, the pinnacle precinct of the Melbourne, how do you describe coming to the G?
So I recently moved to Richmond 2 or 3 months ago, and in the last couple of years as well, I also finally got admitted with my MCC membership as well. And so with my MCC in hand and now living in Richmond, I rode my bike into the G one day and I thought, this has got to be the ultimate Melbourne experience that I'm having right now.
Yeah.
And
the sun's shining today as well.
The sun is shining today. Went out into the balcony to look at the cricket pitch ahead of the T20 on Friday night, and it never gets old. It's a very special place, and I think when I was working at Cricket Australia, and you'd take your lunch in from the Hugh Trumbull Cafe, sit in the stands, and you'd take it for granted a bit, seeing it every single day. But now, particularly after going overseas a fair bit too and seeing sport around the world, every single time I come back, I'm like, my God, we've got it good here. And particularly from a stadium point of view too, I think we seriously underestimate how good the MCG as a venue is in terms of the food you can get here, the ability to get in and out as well, the capacity, everything from ticketing to access, you name it, to comfort is just world class here, which I think until you see other stadiums around the world, you don't fully appreciate.
Mate, it is, and I just saw you can still get the 4 and 20 pie too in the cafes. You get anything you want here at the G. Reuben Williams, thank you so much for being part of Scoreboard Live, and I wish you all the best for networking later on this afternoon.
Thank you. My pleasure, Chris. Thank you.